Okay, so sorry, I've got 701, 1901 for those inclined on military 24-hour clock. This is Saturday, 18 May 2024. My name is Russ Jamison. I'm the instructor for University of Mount Olive LDR 300 leadership course. LDR 300 is a foundational course. I'll discuss the objective of the course here in just a minute. I want to orient you to the screen. This is a weekly Zoom session. These are not mandatory. This is an opportunity for you, though, the student, to have a chance to meet with me. It's like a regular um, office hour, if you will. Don't quite go an hour. We'll probably go about 30 minutes. These are going to be weekly on Saturdays. Since we're on a different schedule, we start on a Friday, end on a Thursday for 6 weeks for this schedule, summer schedule. Takes a little getting used to, different type of dynamic, different what I call a battle rhythm, um, but same amount of work, and it's completely doable. Uh, this course used to be a few years ago when I first started teaching it, 5 weeks in length, which was same amount of reading, same amount of work. So again, a little bit of a challenge, uh, but 6 weeks is certainly doable. Just the key to it is having your text, communicating with your instructor if there's any issues or major questions. Most of the information, if not all, for the course is found in the syllabus and in the Moodle page, which I'm showing right now, which you can see because it has a picture of your text on it. And also the course I lay out every week in what's called a weekly announcement. I sent out the week one weekly announcement a few days ago. In the future, I'll tend to send those out um, usually about that same day, probably about a Monday or Tuesday. Let me think about this. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 4 days in the course, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Yeah, so Mondays, I'll try to send out the weekly announcement. It may be a Tuesday, but suffice to say, plenty of heads up. I'm going to cover that information here in just a minute. But first, again, your text is by Richard L. Daft. It's from Cengage Publishing. It's called The Leadership Experience, 8th edition. It's slightly dated text, but it is timeless in the sense that the majority of the information, critical information, the theories, models, principles, and the like, are all still very valid and is tools for which you to put in your leadership tool bag. I encourage you to read the text. It is mandatory for the course. The testing that goes on, what we would call marked requirements. In other words, forum discussions, the weekly assignments, the final leadership paper, leadership effectiveness paper, and the quizzes are all based on the text. And to show mastery of the course, you have to show mastery of the text, meaning that you've read it, that you understand the material presented, and that you're able to apply it. The other thing is, I encourage you to hold on to the text, uh, have it read, notated, highlighted. Excuse me, I apologize for that. Um, as you, if you've got a hard copy, if you've got electronic, in either case, make sure you hold on to the text because you'll use it a lot, refer to it a lot, not just in your future LDR courses uh, or that you take at University of Mount Olive, but any other courses and in life in general. So you just hold on to it because you'll refer to it time and again because of uh, critical information that's provided therein. All right. So what I want to do is let's cover your week one, and then, but I'll also cover, well, let's do the course overall first. Okay. So I'm going to do an overall course layout and some of the expectations, and then we'll dive into week one. Some of you have already responded for the weekly discussion. I encourage that. I appreciate that. And so far, it looks like those of you that did respond, you understood the requirement. Key is bring the text in as much as you can within the framework of the course. Um, but don't just do that. Don't make this a scavenger hunt. In other words, I want you to be able to take that information, then apply it, with a real world example, uh, whether that's in your current vocation, your future. Excuse me, I apologize again. Hold on just a minute, please. Sorry, long day here. Um, anyway, not just your current occupation, but your future one, if that's going to be different. Just life in general. Okay. Yeah, I think you'll find it useful and helpful. Okay. So if you go onto the Moodle page, you'll note that we have started Friday, 17 May. This is day two of week one, Saturday, 18 May. We will go for 6 weeks, finishing on Thursday, 27 June. Understand that that is a hard end date, meaning the work that is required has got to be completed by that date to include the final paper. I have just a couple days to turn around, grade all your work, grade the final paper, and report your final grade to the registrar or to the dean. Uh, and so don't really have any time for any type of makeup and things like that. You'll see in there that the University of Mount Olive policy is generally late work is not made up. It's not accepted. There is no makeup. There is no extra credit. And you're expected to do the assignments and have them in on time. With that said, the dean provides us adjuncts and directs us to use some measured dose of grace, knowing that there are some exigencies that occur that prevent one from getting their work in on time. And what do I mean by those exigencies? These are things that were clearly beyond your control and not anticipated. Things like a death in the family, hospitalization, a grave illness, military deployment, again, due to an exigency, uh, things that clearly prevented you from getting the work done, and it was of an unexpected nature. Military deployments do tend to count, but again, if that is a scheduled deployment for an exercise or you knew it was coming, then we should have already discussed a plan for that. Okay, so in all cases, if there's a problem coming up, it's better to communicate that early with me, your instructor, so that we could work through the issue by trying to regroup, uh, and reattack. Okay, so keep the comm lines open. All right, but again, we need to get the work done. So you'll see in the middle page, there's the first thing you'll come to is an announcements section. I want you to check this every time you log in. This is where I'll post those weekly assignments. You can see I posted one on, well, it was the 5th of May, Cinco de Mayo, when I posted that one. I think I had a time that would have made sense. Yeah, so that would have been what, Friday the 11th when you probably saw it, correct? Or Friday, what, I guess that was probably Friday the 10th. I'm sorry, I got my days here mixed up. Let me look at my calendar. Yes, so I'm sorry. So Friday, May the 10th is when you would have seen this. Uh, at least the syllabus, the welcome announcement, the syllabus posted. weekly assignment instructions. Yeah, so Monday the 13th is when this came out. And I'll go over those here in just a second. But let me again orient you to the Moodle page. The underneath the announcement section, you'll find the attendance and participation policy. All right, attendance meaning that you have done some type of work. Okay, it is not based simply on logging in or viewing the Moodle content. You need to have logged into the course, submitted work for grading, or you have initiated contact with me or another faculty member to ask a question about the subject studied in the course. In other words, it's based on activity. Okay. Attendance is taken on Sundays by 2359. So the only work typically you'll have due on Sunday is forum discussion posting. So please have that done on Sundays before 2359. In other words, 11:59 p.m. I say 23:59 instead of midnight because sometimes there's confusion. If I say midnight Sunday night, does that mean midnight going into from Saturday into Sunday, or does that mean midnight Sunday going into Monday? Okay, so in this case, it's Sunday, 23:59 or 11:59 p.m. is your due date for your weekly discussion forum. Okay, participation is based broadly on participating in class discussions. At a minimum, that includes making comments on 2 other student postings in the forum discussion. That's a minimum. You can certainly comment and post on more than 2. It has to be relevant comments and or questions aligned to the topic at hand. You're engaged in, and what do I mean relevant comments? A little bit more than, hey, great post. I agree with you 100%. That's a comment, but and it's a fine one. But let's dive a little bit further into it. Pick apart that discussion. Pick up a point. Agree or disagree, but add some weight and some depth to your response. Okay, and approach it not unlike maybe you're part of it. You're teaching part of the course. Okay, and or offer some relevant current events that that illuminate some of the topics at hand within the framework. Okay, and I'll cover what kind of questions I raise or ask in this forum discussion. Okay. All right, going further down your Moodle page, you'll find where I take attendance. You don't need to go into attend a summer session first. I do that, and then you have your tiles. Start here, runs you through my background and some information about me and some other orientation items to the course. This tile is as aptly named syllabus. That's where you find the syllabus for the course. Student lounge. This is where you find a place to introduce yourself, a place to surface questions of where you need some help. That can be answered by any student, or I'll see it. I'm going to ask that you ask for help on that forum. Understand that it may take about 24 hours to get a post in response from me. You can obviously email me a question, and that information is found in my information. The again, I ask, understand it may be a 24-hour turnaround. I try to do better than that, but again, give about a day. You can obviously text me or call me on my cell phone. I provide the number again under the Start Here tile. In the case of texting and calling, I'm going to ask that you give me at least a couple hours and only use that in case of emergency or when time is of essence. I mean, really a critical item. Certainly, if you text or call me at 3 in the morning, I will answer. It may not be as cheerful at 3 o'clock in the morning as I would be during the normal academic day. And I'm partially kidding. I'll certainly be uh, at least courteous. And but again, give me a couple hours. And again, please only use that in case of an emergency, or there's really time is of a real essence because of the criticality of the issue. Otherwise, communication on this forum or on this page or through email is the way we want to do it. Okay? Understand all your work has to be uploaded to Moodle. Okay, there is no mechanism for me to grade work that is emailed to me or texted. Uh, it's I certainly can look at that, but the requirement is to upload your work to Moodle. That's a university Mount Olive policy. The reason for it is twofold. One is obvious for your own protection. In other words, it's clear that this is your work and that you wish it to be accepted. It's for your protection in the sense that when I respond to it and how I grade becomes a matter of record and shows on the Moodle page. When the accreditation bodies that accredit the university uh, review the accreditation given, they go into the Moodle and they look at what questions have been asked, what type of work you've been told or asked to do, uh, how you submitted that, the quality of your submission, and what I graded it out as. Okay. In other words, did I grade you fairly and accurately on that information? Okay. So again, please upload a Moodle. All right. Student Lounge again also has a coffee house, if you will, place where you can converse with your fellow students in a forum-based discussion. I won't typically get on there. That's more for you all the students. I will periodically review it just to make sure that it's being used appropriately and everybody's following some general rules of decorum. Okay. And then you have each week, module 1 through 6. Okay. And each week highlighted here starts on Friday, ends on a Thursday. Okay. We are currently in week 1. And going into that tile will show you what work is expected. And I'll do that here in just a minute. There's a final title. Overall, it's end of course information, course summary. That's where you'll find the uh, evaluation link at the end of the course. Excuse me, I'll ask that when you do that evaluation, it's evaluation for the course. It certainly asks you questions about the instructor. I assure you that the dean reads these and it is shared uh, with the instructor by the dean. Okay, so in other words, it goes unfettered to the dean and then down to me. I can assure you that the dean reads these, as does the department chairs and your instructor. Now, I will ask that you not wait till the end of the course and report or otherwise evaluate an issue with the instructor at that late date, because at that point it's late and there's not much we can do about it. If there's a question, concern, or issue that you got with me as your instructor, certainly bring that up early uh, so that we can discuss it and we can address it, and that I have the opportunity to at least correct whatever it is that is causing you concern, at least address it. I think that's basic courtesy. I think you would appreciate the same if the roles were reversed. But and I certainly will give you early and often feedback. Every piece of work that you submit, I will read and I will provide feedback, not just in the form of the grade, which is the ultimate form of feedback. So in case you turn something in, you get 100 from me. And 100 out of 100 is no much room for improvement. So there's not much yeah, more I could say about that. But I will generally try to give you some verbiage and some feedback. If you're not doing it right, believe me, or not doing it what I think is the expectation for the course, I will let you know. If you're not answering the right question or you did the wrong exercise, I'll let you know. Those type of things. So again, let's communicate. Okay, uh, but I appreciate in all cases your candor and uh, and your input. All right. So and that kind of rounds out the Moodle page. On the right hand side, uh, you will find uh, oh, I don't know what happened to it. Oh, there it is. Sorry. You'll see latest announcements, upcoming events, lays out what's been scheduled in the course. Okay, and B. Okay, a little bit of what I talk about. There's more in my bio, but this is just more of kind of a here's how the course goes. The recent activity, what you've done, and a calendar, table of contents, and then some other links. Okay, I will from time to time compose a course message. A lot of times that's to you direct in case there's a question or issue that I have. Okay, and then you connect and Elpo and some other stuff. Okay, all right. So let's close that and let's go into the announcements real fast. Well, let's go into week one tile and let's talk about what is so-called battle rhythm is. Okay. Again, make sure you read the assignment instructions for the week in the announcement section. There's a overview and objectives for the module to-do list. Read and accomplish, right? So for week one, you got to read chapters 1 and 2. The module is more about introduction to leadership, and then leadership traits, behaviors. Kind of talks about the the history of leadership as a academic subject. You go into what used to be called the trait theory. It was thought for many years that to study leadership, you would find somebody who is a successful leader and then emulate their traits to be like that person. Now, lately, more recently, is the contingency theory of leadership. In other words, that uh, leadership approach should address each situation in its own right, contingency, if you will. Uh, that a certain particular trait may work well in one situation, but not in another. So your approach to leadership should be based on the situation, the tools which you have, what comes naturally to you, vice emulating what you think somebody else would have done. Okay? As an example, we may have a situation where uh, a particular event requires a certain type of approach for leadership that you and I may not be able to agree on. In other words, I may have a approach or use a certain style or have an approach or answer to a situation, but you have a different one. It doesn't mean one is right and the other is wrong, again, depending. But a lot of it just depends on the situation and what your your view and your style is and what you see. In other words, so let's talk it out. We'll go through it. Okay, accomplish. We want to do our weekly discussion forums. Okay. Uh, then there's a weekly assignment, leadership practice. Yourself, usually 2 or 3 of exercises that come straight out of your text, and then a weekly quiz. Okay, we'll talk about the timings of that. And the timings of that, again, is also in uh, your syllabus and then in the weekly assignments. Okay. You won't see this on your Moodle page, but it shows up on mine. It's something we used to do in the past. Okay, forum discussion. Okay, so each week uh, we need to do a forum discussion. This is, again, where your participation grade comes in. I will provide you one or two questions each week. These are all out there now. You can look at what the questions will be week 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 if you want. I don't have a problem with you working ahead. I will caution you don't get too far ahead, and there are things that you may want to hold off on. Uh, critical piece here is that we answer the questions. These are not scavenger hunt type of questions. These are designed to be answered with some material out of the course. But I want to hear what you have to say. The Sorry, I've got activity going here. So each week I'll post these questions. They're, like I said, they're already out there. I want you to file your initial response to the questions, your posting to the questions, no later than 23:59 on Sundays. Okay. So tomorrow at a night at 23:59, I expect to see your response. These questions, you can do it today. Yeah, like I said, you can work ahead if you wish. And then you will individually comment on at least two other students' postings and have that done by Tuesday, 21 May. Sorry, I got some activity going on in the background. The Again, minimum of two. You can certainly do more than that if you wish. I'd like you to make it a little bit more than an I agree or disagree post. Interject your personal analysis. Okay, make it meaningful and on point, please. All right. Then we go into the weekly assignment. These are called leadership practice, know yourself summaries. These reports, if you will, are based on uh, exercises that are found in the text. This will These also serve as a basis for completing your final paper, the leadership effectiveness paper that's due in week 6. Okay, so for week 1, you're to do leadership self-insight exercises 1.3 and 2.2. I give you the page numbers. Look at these carefully. Make sure you answer the right exercise. Okay, and what I'm looking for is a report, if you will, on each exercise. It could be one report and then make each response, a different page, if you will. Okay. Critical piece is your response, your report should be made of 3 sections: a summary of the exercise, a discussion of the exercise, and a personal reflection of the exercise. Okay. In the exercise summary, it is just as it implies. You'll summarize the exercise. Don't give me verbatim everything that the exercise calls for. I don't need to see your work. Okay. I want to see your results. And I ask you to summarize those. Okay. I know what the exercise says because I assigned it. All right. But just summary. Don't spend too much time on this piece. Just, again, it's a summary of what you were expected to do and what your results are. The critical element of this is the discussion and the personal reflection. In the discussion piece, I want you to discuss the results of the exercise, the results that you got, applying information concepts presented in the text. In other words, show me you understand the concept that was presented and discuss that a little bit. Here you can use some of the verbiage out of the text. Again, I encourage that, but I also again caution you that this should not, you're not going to quote unquote find the answer, verbatim in the book. in the text. You're going to find the information. Now, once you present that in, part of what you're going to discuss is whether you disagree with or agree with the results of that exercise. Okay. It's okay to disagree with it if you feel strongly, but again, why? Why you think the results do or do not match your view of yourself or based on what you learned on this course. And then the third piece is personal reflection, how you're going to use the information concepts presented in the assigned chapter and the results of the exercise, enhance your ability to lead others, and how it'll create value in your career. Okay, remember, everything in business revolves around value, value to the consumer. Okay, uh, that's the basis of all transactions. Okay, if I want a particular service or good from you, uh, then I have put a value on that. If I want it badly, I'll pay for it more than probably I should. Okay, if I don't really want it, then don't expect me to necessarily partake or buy. Okay. Anyway, you'll do these exercises. I provide you a paragraph on what goes into them. A word about word count and page count. I don't grade based on that. If you write me 1,000 words, Vice 100, I don't grade you higher because of that in and of itself. Okay, the word or page counts are there just to kind of give you an idea of about how much effort and time to put on the response. What I grade on is whether you answered the exercise and the quality of your response. In other words, if I tell you it takes about 500 words and you're able to do it in 100 and you're able to answer it all, I don't know if you can with a quality response, then you'll get a quality grade. Conversely, if I ask for 500 words and you give me 5,000 words, I don't grade down or up on that. If it's a quality response and it adds, it great gives the depth, and it's not filled with just pap, if you will, uh, and your grade will so reflect. Okay. Anyway, your exercise report is due on each Wednesday night at 23:59, 11:59 p.m. Okay. All right. Each Sunday at noon, the quiz will be released. The quiz will cover the material covered that week. So, week one quiz will cover chapters 1 and 2. The quizzes are not cumulative. In other words, they focus on that particular week's assignment. There are no surprises. I don't try to trick you on the questions. They're very straightforward and call for a straightforward answer. Uh, you have until Thursday night, 23:59, to finish the quiz, and then it locks up. A note on the quiz, they are timed. So uh, make sure that you only get one shot at it. So make sure when you do take the quiz, you're in a place where you're not going to be interrupted and that you can give it the full amount of time. If the quiz closes at 23:59 on Thursday, don't try to take the quiz 5 minutes before closure time. You won't have an hour. You'll have 5 minutes. Okay, so again, don't wait till the last hour to take an hour quiz. Okay, give yourself time. Also, your quiz, you can use the text, the exercises, PowerPoint presentations that I provide you in each tile, reading assignments, notes from our discussions, all that you can use. What I will ask you not to do is collaborate with your fellow students. Okay. So, again, good luck on the quizzes. All right. Below that is where you'll find the PowerPoints. These are come out of the publisher's website or my own notes. These are provided to you. Clicking on this link will just pull up PowerPoint slides in either a PowerPoint or a PDF type format. Okay. Mostly, I think PowerPoint. All right. So it's 7:35. I've gone now 35 minutes. I didn't get to the leadership effectiveness paper. I will do that in probably a future. Well, I'll certainly do that in a future Zoom session. And again, all this information and the leadership paper is in the weekly assignments. Okay, so again, go into the announcements, assignment instructions, and you would have got an email with this. Okay, it's all laid out. There's the questions. Okay, your timelines, the leadership practice, know yourself summary reports, as I mentioned, what's due, what to submit, when the timing is due. Okay, weekly quiz, right? Talks about the quiz and when it opens, when it closes. And then here's your write up on the leadership effectiveness paper. Your final paper is due on Thursday, 27 June at 23:59. That's the last day of class. The note up here also says visual aid presentation. Don't worry about that. That's not part of this course. That's usually for when we do a seated course. So it's just a paper, which is 30% of your final grade. And this lays out the sections. And again, I'll cover that. And I'll send out a grading rubric that I'll use probably about week 4. Okay. And some additional thoughts. Again, just talk about, the value of this course is the exchange of ideas and thoughts in the discussion thread. Let's maintain a sense of decorum, respect, candor, not unlike you'd expect in a normal class setting. We respect each other, right? And then the big thing is make sure we're having fun. If we're not having fun, something's wrong. Okay? All right. So that's enough for one day. These sessions will be posted on YouTube and a link will be provided. Um, again, these are not mandatory. Nobody joined us today, which is fine. But I will ask that you think about joining in the future if you have a question or concern. Certainly a good forum and opportunity for you. Otherwise, you'll just hear me drone on, and I don't think anybody's in class to do that. All right. Again, since nobody joined us, I'll wrap this up. I guess I was waiting for it to hit 7:40, but it looks like I'm stuck at about 7:38. So not that I'm teaching the time, but I'm cognizant of not wasting your time. Okay. Again, thank you for joining us, and thank you for being in this course. I look forward to working with each and every one of you over the next 6 weeks. Really excited to read what you have to what you come up with, and we'll get started. Take great care.